All right, so we are building a workspace between Google Workspace and Notion, workflow rather. So I've been looking into my 10 by 10 by 10 framework. So it's trying to connect with people that are above you, 10 of them, trying to keep people that are in your wheelhouse, you're current with them, you're interactive with them, 10 of them. And then, of course, every day doing outreach to 10 people that you actually want to try and do business with. Um, but the thing is, with a short period of time today, a day to work on it, I want to come up with a system to make it so I can also keep track, but also keep working on it um, and building, and then keep up with people that I've already built with, so I don't fall behind. You know, the agreement that you have with other groups where you're like, hey, I'm gonna work with you, I'm gonna make posts, I'm gonna interact with your community, but you got to keep it up like every 2-3 days, something to update with them. So I want to come up with a workflow so that I can keep up with every 3 days, 3-4 people's groups, about 10 people. The trick with the 10 people that are above you is that you just check to see if they posted something for today. And if they did, then you go and you interact with it and bring attention to it, try to get noticed, try to add value. And then, of course, the 10 for outreach purposes, you'd build up a list of about 100 people that you think would be your ICP. And then every day, at least 10 of them, do a little bit of outreach. And it's not necessarily directly outreach. When I talked to the AI about it first in the beginning of this, it said that if law is going to be, school doesn't like it when you do direct outreach. And it's like, I understand, but we'll build it into the workflow to try and actually come up with a way to talk to them quickly and build a connection. So for right now, what I'm trying to do is I want to build my workflow either mainly in Notion or mainly in Google Workspace, and then transfer it over between the two. So I only do most of my work in one of them, and then the other one I use as an update device, right? So right now, because I use Notebook LM for large processing, then it's saying that Google Workspace is probably better to focus on because of the way that it can push the Google information, which makes sense to me. And I thought that that's probably what it would do. When I first brought it up and didn't say anything about Notebook LM, it said to stick with Notion because that's more of what Notion is built for. But I don't plan on investing in Notion, at least not yet. So the whole um, AI options in Notion is kind of out of reach for me at the moment. And I don't necessarily invest in Google Workspace either, but it is something I'm considering. It depends on how useful it ends up being. But for now, let's double check with Gemini what it says would be best for, let's just do it this way. Between Google Workspace and Notebook LM, if I build with one of them, which one would it be easier to simply push the information to the other so that I really only have to work with one and then I could just upload the results to the other? Okay, let's see what it says. Okay. Don't know why that popped up. No thanks. Wow. Okay, so this is with WhisperFlow, and yeah, I don't like this. This isn't great. Although I am using the free version of WhisperFlow, so I guess this is part of the disadvantage. They pop up an ad right in the middle of your screen, and so I can't click on it. I can't get it to go away. It's timed. So if you're going to use WhisperFlow, especially if you're going to use it while live streaming, something to consider. I wonder if that's a daily thing, because if so, I'm going to have to use WhisperFlow before I go live so that doesn't happen. That is really frustrating. Okay, so you absolutely want to build your functions in Google Workspace. Okay, here is operational reality. You cannot use Notebook LM as your primary home base because Notebook LM isn't a database. It has no rows, columns, status tags, or pipelines. It is a synthesis engine. Okay, think of Google Workspace as your filing cabinet and Notebook LM as your brain. Okay, because they are built by the same company, the native integration gives you that exact one platform feel you are looking for. That's true. That is what I asked for. Here is how the push-pull loop actually works without you having to manually copy and paste. Okay, data flows in automatically. When you add your tracking Google Sheets or your raw Google Docs to Notebook LM as a source, they stay permanently linked. Notebook LM auto syncs those drive files every few minutes. This means as you update your CRM or dump unformatted observations into a doc during your daily 2-hour workflow, that's another thing that I said. I want to try and do 2 hours a day because I still have a full-time job outside of this. Notebook LM reads the new data automatically without you having to re-upload files. If you need it instantly, there's a simple click to sync with Google Drive button. Okay. Assets flow out with one click. When you're ready to write your daily cornerstone posts, you open Notebook LM and ask it to analyze your recent CRM data with your raw notes. Once it generates brilliant retention insight or a draft for a school post, you just save that response as a note, click the three-dot menu, and select Export to Google Docs. Notebook LM instantly shoots a clean, formatted Google Doc right into your drive. Seamless workflow. By building in workspace, you eliminate the friction of juggling apps. Your 2-hour execution, you live entirely in Google Sheets and Docs. You log your 10 leader interactions, track your 3-5 diagnostic DMs, and jot down raw thoughts about school communities. Your content creation, you open Noem, tell it to ingest those updates, and have it export polish ready to publish intellectual assets straight back to your drive. Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to do is come up with topic ideas, because I think with topic ideas, you could take topic ideas and make posts across multiple school communities. Now, okay, so on school, they don't like it when you spam post. So even if you spam post on different communities, if it's essentially the same exact post, but you put it on different communities, people that follow you can see that. They'll see that it is all in a row, you know, that it's you. They'll see the same title. And a majority of school does not like that when you post like that. So what I wanted to do was come up with a topic list of at least 100 different topics and use that as a means for posting different posts. And the reason why you track it is because, yes, out of 100, I could have 4 different topics for 4 different groups. So it's 4 different original posts, and that's great. Day 1. Day 2, I want to make sure that I don't reuse those topics or those similar posts so that somebody who might have been actually paying attention yesterday sees that on day 2 and is like, wait a second, I get what Keith's doing. And it's just like everybody knows that AI is being used to help, but I don't want to make it so blatant that it's just like, oh, okay, Keith, you're reposting stuff day after day. And that's not the goal anyways. I've just noticed that with interacting with a group, especially with a lot of people, it is way more efficient to make a post and then stay active for like 15, 30 minutes, which you're going to be doing anyway, especially if you're doing multiple posts, so that you can respond to people quickly. Because that's usually where a lot of it is built. You make a post and you ghost, and then people comment on your post and they're like, oh, he's just gone. And then you don't really build that interaction. But if you make a post and then somebody else comments on it and you come back quickly and respond, then it feels like a real conversation and you can build a lot of trust with that person. And that's one of the best ways I've found to build relationships with people, and it keeps them coming back. So like it's another thing to keep an eye out for who you're following. Like I have a large following list, and I recently actually cut down how many people I was following. I used to follow about as many people as were following me, but I cut a bunch of people because first I followed people that lived close to me because school allows for you to keep track of, or you to allow school to know where you live, whereabouts. It's like a 10-mile radius, so they let you know where you live, and then when you go on school, you can see people that are next to you or close to you. Let's see if this one, yeah, map. So this is what I'm talking about over here. Yeah, I live in this area. So as you get closer and closer, it'll show more and more people, right? So, but it's like a 10-mile radius usually is what it shows. I don't actually advertise where I live on my profile, but So what I did was I followed a bunch of people that lived close because I wanted to try and build a relationship with them, a business relationship with them, and potentially have a meeting in person at some sort of place that would be in between all of us. So I followed a bunch of them, and the thing is, none of them are active. So when I went back to my profile and I was like, why am I following all these people? You know, because most of the people that I follow, especially if you go towards, let's just go right to the back. Yeah. So that when I first came to school, I actually joined her group. So yeah, she was the first person I followed. He was one of the first people I met. He was in her group as well. He was also in her group. Met him through a friend. Met him through him. And then of course he owns school. You know what I mean? So it's just like all these people are people I followed from a long time ago, from like when I first started. And then somewhere in the middle was a bunch of people that I didn't even recognize. And I was like, what was I doing? Why was I doing that? Anyways, so all of this is to say that when you go and you start a conversation with somebody in a post and they respond back to you, you want to try and keep track. So if it's somebody you think you can build into, like with my workflow and the 10 people I want to do outreach on, I would go ahead and hit follow on them if it's somebody that I actually want to interact with a lot. So back to the workflow. I got distracted too easily here. Let's do a new chat. You are helping me build a workflow in another chat. For this chat, I want to try and create topic ideas for 100 posts so that I can use them in different communities and have them overlap, but not be the same post. The idea is to make 4 posts a day using 4 of the 100 topic ideas. And then the next day, I'll use different ideas from the topic ideas. And I don't want them to overlap, so I need enough to have variety. Please help me come up with 100 topic ideas based off of what is really active on school and Google. Hold on. And Google. What is the idea? The idea is trends, correct? Trends, yes. Having a beard has its problems. And waiting. Why not? I need topic ideas for making posts on school. I gotta teach myself not to lean forward. When I listen to my own videos, whenever I lean forward and talk, it sounds so much different from when I'm not. So I definitely know there's a difference in sound. Polls, value posts, authority posts. Okay, cool. Give me some more different ones. Let's push it. Push it till it tells me. And then with the workflow, we'll okay, before we map out the topics. High volume generalized cross posting is massive red ocean. Thank you. Platforms are saturated with users dropping identical, broad content across multiple groups. If you execute 4 generic posts a day across different communities, you risk triggering algorithm suppression and member churn rather than engagement. The blue ocean strategy here is information gained, taking a core framework and skinning it specifically for the subculture of each community. You want to adapt the logic, not just copy paste the text. For example, if you're discussing retention metrics Frame it around high-ticket influencer challenges in one group and around keeping elder emos engaged in collective force in another. I'm not part of any groups with elder emos, but somewhere along the lines, was it video editing? I think that I looked up and they brought up elder emos and video editing, like they like a special kind of video editing, I guess. To fuel your four post a day workflow without burning out your audience. Let's see. Here are 100 distinct 4 pillars. Pull one idea from each pillar daily to maintain variety. That's fair. That's a good idea. Okay. Using Notebook Outlook to restructure messy transcripts into intellectual assets. Okay, operational analysis and systems. Okay, I like that. Community architecture and retention. Trends and market shifts. Logic and performance. Okay. So based on what you're telling me, how about we come up with some ideas that follow through with the available, what are they called? My brain. Discover communities. Hobbies, music, money. What is it? It's groups. Group types. Group types available via discovery. Group types available via discovery. Okay. Follow through with the available group types through discovery. Yeah. Let's see what that says. There we go. And then give me some more different ones. It gave me a bunch more. So yeah, and all of this is just to have a data bank for you to come up with the topic ideas. And then you spin it based on the group that you're in. So Business Builders Club, obviously about business, AI tools, training to build and scale your business, right? So first you would want to pick a topic that would match this, and then obviously something closer to what they're talking about now. So in this, I would go and be like, okay, take a look and help me decide what kind of post to make based on what they are talking about recently. Right, and this would be the way you'd start. Just be like, hey, let's see what they're talking about right now. And then the next one, I would say, based on what this group is about, let's pull this down to just a few ideas. Tap into their current themes, AI-powered business building, get what the community is talking about now, big growth, affiliates, David's post about adding members in 21 days, and the Claude Code Club. Yeah, he's really pushing his Claude Code Club right now, which makes sense. This is I think it's a free group. Oh, it's actually 33 a month for people that are joining. Okay, that makes sense. It's so huge now that he's putting a cap on it, and it also adds value because somebody like me, who's if I wasn't in here, would see this and think that at least 40 to 60% of the people in here are probably paying for this. So yeah, interesting. And then he's using this 8,000 group to try and push them out to this new thing that he's building. And he's also kind of taken a back seat on this group, except for this. It's not Claude Code Club. What's this about? Oh, okay. It it looks like it's Claude Code Club though. I'm confused. Oh, it's okay. So this is an ad. I Yeah, I don't understand. I actually don't understand what this post is about. Because he's saying that school was advertising it, which, yeah, I get it. School's been advertising, but anyways, this is part of why I need this system because I get distracted so easy. Okay, what the community is talking about and now: big growth, AI automation, mindset clarity, questions about data versus intuition, strategy versus clarity, and permission to build the business you really want are getting okay. Yep. So execution versus ideas and systems. Theme: most BC posts are asking whether failure comes with weak ideas or weak execution. People are hungry for practical systems. Title: why most builders never find out if their idea was any good. I keep seeking founders blame the niche or the idea. This right here, you that gives it away that it's AI. But when I audit their actual execution, the biggest gaps are boring systems, consistent outreach follow ups, and simple tracking. If you looked at just your past 30 days, would the data say you truly tested your idea or that you mostly thought about it? Prompt to the group. If you had to pick one execution system to fix outreach. Okay, so this is an interesting idea. Um, it's not in my voice, that's for sure. I don't usually talk down to people like this. This is pretty. I would consider this to be rude if I posted this, but the idea is sound, you know, and it's prompting them to take action. It's prompting them to look at what kind of things they're doing with their system. Um, Directly hooks into vendor's idea versus execution debate and Michael's clarity questions. Okay, so this part is what I wanted to see, that it's based off of what they're actually posting in the group, right? And it's important. But when you look at the interactions over here, and it's like this one, 6 people based off of 4 different people commenting, right? 19. That's because David was the one that posted it, right? And he's the owner of the group, so automatically it gets more visibility. Okay, I gotta wrap this up. So, essentially, we're going to build in Google Workspace, and then we will push it to Notion to have a backup drive of the information, right? We have a data bank of multiple posts we can make via different fillers. I showed you how you can analyze part of a group and start to build what you want to talk about. You take these ideas and you refine it, and you can do it quickly. Like this, sometimes writer's block comes from just not knowing what to start with, and having something to start with and making it sound more like you. And through the process of editing it to make it sound more like you, it just becomes your original post. Don't just copy paste, but like even if you copy paste, go through and like actually delete and retune the words, make it sound more like you and what you would want to say. Test out a couple of different hooks. Hooks are definitely my personal weakness. I need to get better with hooks. I need to learn to be more entertaining. So that's something I'm definitely working on. Um, Thank you to anybody who showed up. This was just a quick little thing showing you what I'm working on, the fact that I'm starting into it, and I'll have more tomorrow. Thank you.